You have that, Brent, with you.
We've got five.
Five, perfect. Okay, good. That's half the group.
Yep.
Enter full screen. All right, guys. So basically, how this is going to work is I'm going to go over all of the necessary pre-trip information for you, and then at the end we'll have Q&A. You can ask absolutely all of your questions, and we'll cover everything. So if you have a pen and paper, or if you have a really sharp memory, take notes while I'm presenting this, so that way you can ask all of your questions at the end. The problem is I can't see you, so if you raise your hand, the only way for me to know that you have your hands up is for Professor Knoll to let me know. So that's 100% okay too. Brent, if somebody has a question, just pass it through, or we can wait till the very end and cover everything.
Sounds good.
All right, awesome. Everybody, welcome. How are we doing today? Sorry,
Maria is here.
there we
And
go. All right, good stuff, guys. I'm sorry.
Maria just wandered in, and
All
she
right,
brought some.
yeah, welcome. You haven't missed anything.
Okay.
Yes. Who did you say had wandered in?
Maria and Mario. So we now have six.
There we go.
Maria doesn't count. She's not. She doesn't want to go to London.
Hey, Maria, how are you?
Thank you.
Very good, guys. If you have any doubts about our travel style or trips, you can talk to Maria. She's a veteran traveler. Same with Professor Knoll. So we're gonna take good care of you. Yeah. So guys, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. We should be done after the Q&A. It should take like 1 hour in total. I know you guys have stuff to do, so we'll go over this quickly. First things first, I'm gonna start with the flight information, and then we'll get into the pre-trip packing, and we'll go over the itinerary at the end, and then we'll have Q&A, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, guys. So first things first, you need to make sure that you're at the airport 2 hours prior to departure. Make sure that you build in plenty of time. This is going to ensure that you get through security and everything like that nice and smooth. You don't want to be rushing on your day of travel. So right now, you need to be at the airport at 11:30 at the Will Rogers, Oklahoma City Airport. Arrange transportation to get there. Make sure you're 2 hours before departure. The flight's going to be at 1:52 p.m. So we said try to get there at 11:30. Once you get there, you're just going to check in. You can either do that at the self kiosk, or you can do that at the American Airlines counter. And you're going to go and give them the reservation code. That's this code right here in bold, GCEWDJ. Okay? You'll just give them that code, and they'll print your boarding passes for you. After you get your boarding passes, you're going to go through security, okay? You go through security, and then you'll just go to the assigned gate. Check the TV monitors. It'll show your flights, flight number, and everything. You go to that gate, and that's where you can meet with Professor Knoll and the rest of the group from Oklahoma, okay? So don't wait out in the main area where all of the check-in counters are. Go ahead and go through security and go to the gate that's assigned Oklahoma City, Dallas, and then you'll be good to go. Our flight is Oklahoma City to Dallas Fort Worth, Dallas Fort Worth to London Heathrow. You're going to be served meals on the plane, so there'll be a light snack, and then there'll be an evening dinner, and then there'll be a light breakfast once you right before you land in London. Myself and our two awesome guides, Martin and John, will be waiting for you in London Heathrow. So right when you come out, we'll be waiting for you, and we'll get the show on the road. We'll let the adventure begin. You're going to arrive at 8 a.m. It's going to feel like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. your time. UK 6 hours ahead, guys. So that first day, you're going to be a little bit confused. We kind of say you're going to be in zombie mode because by the end of the day, you've been awake for probably about 30 hours. The trick is you don't want to sleep that first day until nighttime. Okay, you wait to sleep, do as much you can, have as much coffee as possible or whatever you need to keep you awake. And then that evening, you'll have the best night's rest ever. We're going to go to bed early that night so that way we can dive full in the next day. Leaving London, we're going to leave on Sunday, and you're going to get back around 9:37 p.m. back into Oklahoma City. So give your loved ones, your friends, whoever's picking you up from the airport, give them your flight number, which airline you're flying with, and then they'll be able to track your flight and know what time you're arriving. Okay? That's all very simple. Guys, something I want to talk about now is packing. Okay, this is very, very important. I'm going to scroll down a little bit and you'll see how much can I carry on. Okay, I'm going to challenge you guys as future backpackers and globetrotters. I'm going to challenge you guys to carry your luggage on the plane with you. Okay, there's a couple reasons for this. The first reason, you know exactly where your bag is. It's above your head, and you have another one under your seat. This ensures that your baggage won't be lost. This means that it's going to arrive in London with you. The second reason why you should do this is because it's going to allow us to get out of the airport a lot faster. We don't have to go wait on the baggage belt for the bag to arrive, okay? Guys, this is only a 9-day trip, 8 nights, 9 days. You do not need a big suitcase to check on the plane, okay? You can pack easily for this type of trip in a nice duffel bag, sports bag, or a backpacking bag with your additional backpack. I'm going to go over packing in a second because I'm sure there's some of you right now that might be like, that's impossible. Definitely can't do that. No way. But I'm sure you can do it. I typically pack for 6-week trips and I carry on, okay? Mind you, I do wear a lot of the clothes over and over, but you can still do it, okay? It's a very short trip. You can carry your stuff on. So these are the dimensions right here of what your carry-on bag needs to be, okay? So when you pack your bag, get out the measuring tape, check the dimensions, make sure that it's close or almost the same. It doesn't have to be exact. If you're a little bit over, don't worry. They make the dimensions smaller. There's actually more space in the overhead than's listed right here, okay? So measure your bags. If you want to go double check, you can go to Will Rogers Airport and they have the blue metal baskets outside of the departure area. You can go up there, you can stuff your bag in the blue metal basket. If it fits, you're good to go. You're golden, okay? Now, I'm going to scroll down here a little bit so you can see the bags I'm talking about. These are only examples. You don't have to get bags like this. The one on the top left, this is my personal bag. This is the one I use. I can fit 6 weeks worth of clothes in here, okay? This is a 50-liter bag. This one's a little bit big. I don't recommend this I don't recommend getting something quite this size unless you want to use it for future trips, okay? Before you go and buy a brand new bag, guys, talk to your friends, talk to your brother, talk to your sister, whoever it may be, and say, hey, can I borrow your basketball bag or your soccer bag or your backpacking bag if you have one? Now, if you feel like you're going to be traveling a lot more and this is something you're going to get into, you might want to check out getting a backpacking bag like this one on the top left. Either of these are good for your main bag. A nice duffel bag with a sling strap, very good. Backpacking bag like that, very good. Now, this is going to be your main bag. This is where you're going to have all of your main clothing and gear for the trip. Below, you have what would be your day pack, okay? So we have a nice shoulder bag for the ladies or the guys if you want, and then we have another little backpack. This is the bag that you're going to use when you're going around the city during the day, okay? We're going to have lockers in our rooms so you can keep your stuff nice and safe with your padlock. You just lock up your main bag during the day, and then when you're going around the city, you don't need to crate all that stuff around with you. You just bring the essentials. So in your day pack, you might have your camera, your water bottle, your London guidebook, your London map, snacks throughout the day, these kind of things. Everything else you're going to leave back in the room. Okay? Let's keep moving on here a little bit. This is the sample packing list, guys. This is just an idea of what you might need. What I want you to do is I want you to check the average weather in London during March. It's going to give you a good idea of what type of clothing you should be bringing with you. The last 3 years, the weather's been incredible. There's actually been sun, which is very rare in the UK. There was sun almost every day. It was gorgeous. So we get to enjoy global warming a little bit. But the weather is very unpredictable there, very similar to Oklahoma or Texas. So you want to make sure that you're prepared and have a couple extra things just in case we do get rained on. If we don't see any rain while we're there in the UK, we weren't really there. It's going to rain at least once, I promise you that. But that's part of the fun. We get a nice tea and walk around in the rain. It'll be good. So what you need a duffel bag and a backpacking bag, okay? Or a small suitcase, okay? You can bring a small suitcase, but please, please don't bring one of those 6-month suitcases. It's unnecessary, and I promise you, you will be in the way. We're using public transportation. We're going to be using the tube, the subway, the metro. We're going to be using this, every single day. So especially when we come from Heathrow Airport to the city center, the tube can get quite packed. So if you have a big 6 month suitcase just standing there right in the way, people are going to get a little bit of annoyed. Americans were a little bit notorious for overpacking, especially for short trips, just bringing too many unnecessary things. So let's try to avoid that, and let's try to pack as light as possible. Okay. Now, I know you're thinking, I want to make sure that I have plenty of clothes, that I have everything while I'm there, and that you're completely prepared. I have good news for you. There's a store called Primark. It's one of the cheapest stores that I've ever seen. The ladies especially go crazy when they go to Primark in London. You can buy a whole new wardrobe there for like $50. So anything that you did forget, we'll take you to Primark. You can grab it for $5, $10, and you're good to go. So don't worry about bringing absolutely everything you own. Additionally, while you're over there, if you do go to Primark, it's cool because you can get new clothes that people aren't wearing back home. So we will take you over there. And then if you say, hey, I want to buy all of these clothes at Primark and bring them home, then get a bigger bag, check it on the plane. It's okay. It doesn't matter if it's delayed. It's going to arrive at your house a few days later or maybe the next week. But so on the way back, if you want to check your bag, 100% okay, no problem. Going over to there, I want to encourage you to carry your bags on, okay? Now, if you have liquid medication that is above 3.4 ounces and it has to go into your check on, that's 100% okay. Okay. It's not mandatory that you carry on. It's just a suggestion. Okay. So you need a duffel bag or a backpacking bag or a small suitcase, not a 6 month suitcase. And then you need an additional day pack or handbag, something that you're going to use to take around the city with you. Okay. You need adequate multi-layer clothing for 8 days of travel. I recommend using layers. The reason is because the temperatures might change regularly throughout the day. So if you get hot, you shed a layer. If you get cool, you put a layer back on. Okay. You're going to need a coat or a jacket, preferably water resistant. We might get rained on, so something a little bit waterproof, even better. Bring a couple pairs of jeans or pants or whatever you have. Long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, whatever you can layer on. Okay. We're going to take you out in the evening. We definitely want to show you the local nightlife and where the students go and what they do and where they hang out. We want to show you the pub culture while you're there. So bring something to change into in the evening if you want to go dancing or if you want to go on a pub crawl or something you can change into out of the clothes you've been wearing all day. You might think about bringing a scarf, some light gloves, pajamas. Guys, we're going to be sharing rooms. It's single gender rooms, okay? So the ladies will be in one room, the guys will be in one room. The rooms are 4 beds, some are 6 beds. They're very spacious. There's plenty of room, and but you need to wear pajamas that are appropriate for a shared room, okay? Appropriate pajamas. Flip flops for showering is very important. If it's not my shower, I'm wearing flip flops. Okay. Each room has its own bathroom and own toilet, so you're not sharing with the other travelers. We have our own, but still, in that case, I do recommend bringing some flip flops while you shower. You need to bring durable, multi-purpose shoes. We're going to be walking a lot. Okay. On average, we're typically walking somewhere around 6 miles per day. Okay, you won't know it won't feel like you're walking 6 miles per day, like you're on a treadmill. You're going to enjoy it. The time's going to fly. You're looking at buildings, some buildings that are hundreds of years old, some ruins that are 1,000, 2,000 years old. So you're not going to realize that you're walking so far. It's not like walking in a neighborhood back home. So you need to bring comfortable shoes for walking. Okay, do me a favor and please do not bring a brand new pair of shoes that are not broken in. You'll get blisters guaranteed. Okay. So make sure whatever shoes you are bringing that they're already broken in, they're comfortable, you're okay with standing on your feet for, 3 hours or so during a walking tour. Okay. You need to bring a quick dry shower towel. The reason it's quick dry is because you don't want it to smell like mildew, wet dog after 2, 3 days of the trip, okay? So bring a thin towel that can dry quickly and easily. Additionally, you can rent towels from the reception. They're like 1 pound, possibly 2 pounds, and you can rent a towel, okay? But I recommend bringing a quick dry towel. You need to bring a reusable water bottle. Nalgene bottle or whatever. You can buy these at Ross or TJ Maxx for like $5. But bring a reusable water bottle because the water in the UK is potable. You don't have to worry about anything. The water's clean. It's good. So and it's free. So take advantage of it. Save your money for other things, not for buying bottled water. So bring a reusable water bottle. You're going to need a combination lock, okay? A combo lock or a padlock with the key. I recommend a combo lock so that way you don't have to worry about losing the key. This is because everybody has a locker in the room. So during the day, you can put your stuff in the locker, you can close it up, you're good to go. You're going to know everybody in your room, so you don't need to worry really about, someone getting in your stuff and stealing from you. But it's always better safe than sorry. So get a combo lock, you're good to go. You definitely want to bring a camera. Okay, so you can document everything. If you like to keep a travel journal, I highly recommend it. You're able to capture so many more, a lot of memories that you would forget without it. So I enjoy keeping travel journals when I travel. I like to go back through it. It brings the trip back to life. Wet wipes and hand sanitizer. In my opinion, these are two of the greatest things for travelers. Wet wipes, if you didn't have time, we just got from the airport, you didn't have time to take a shower yet, take a little wet wipe bath, you're good to go. Hand sanitizer, we're using a lot of public transportation. So if you get off the public transportation, you see some really delicious street food that you want to eat, you've got your hand sanitizer on you, clean up those hands and scarf down whatever you might be eating, okay? Guys, very important, travel size toiletries, okay? Everything that you carry on has to be in a 3.4 ounce or below bottle, okay? Or container. It can't be above that. If it's above 3.4 ounces, they're going to toss it, okay? So you need to make sure you have the travel size toiletries. You're permitted to bring a quart sized bag on the plane with you, and you can easily fit all of the toiletries that you're going to need for a 9-day trip in that bag. So a couple shampoos, a couple body wash, a couple conditioner, some hair gel, hair cream, whatever you use, some toothpaste, and you're good to go. Okay. Small trash can liner bags. I highly recommend these. They're great for separating dirty clothes from clean clothes and wet clothes from dry clothes. Okay. Additionally, you might want to think about getting a couple of gallon-sized Ziploc bags. This way, if you're out during the day and there's strong rain, there's a strong downpour, and you have your electronics or whatever you have in your bag, you know that they're safe, you know that they're dry. Okay. Also, you need to bring a black and white copy of your passport. I recommend bringing one, two, at least. The reason is because if you lose your passport, for some reason you misplace it or you lose it, the black and white copy is going to make it a lot easier for us at the embassy. Say that, sorry?
Or leave it in a bar.
Yeah, or if you leave it in a bar, exactly. Yeah. Hopefully you won't do that. We're going to encourage you not to carry your passport around with you. You want to leave it in your bag, in your locker, nice and safe, back at the hostel. Okay. So you have your black and white copies, one in your day pack, one in your big bag, and then you don't have to worry about it. Okay. School ID, guys, it's incredible the amount of discounts you can get being a student. So bring your school ID if you have one. That's discounts for like entrances to like clubs and discos. That's discounts for food. That's discounts for additional venues and attractions. So bring your school ID if you have it, and always ask, whenever you're going somewhere and you're about to pay an entrance, do you guys have a student discount? Is there a student discount? Majority of the time there will be some type of discount. Okay. We're going to try to help you make your money go as far as possible while you're over there so you can do more, see more, experience more. That's what it's about. Okay. Guys, this is very important. The last one. You're going to need a US to UK electric socket adapter and possibly a converter. Okay. When I say possibly a converter, that depends on if your electronics already have a built-in converter. If they have a built-in converter, you won't need that. You can see if it has a built-in converter on the plug that you plug into the wall. It will say on it that it can handle voltage from 100 to 240. If it says that, you're good to go. Most modern electronics, like made within the last couple years, have that built-in converter. If it doesn't say that it can handle 100 to 240, you're probably going to need a converter also. The reason is they have higher voltage. They use 220. So if you plug your 110 electronic into the 220, we're going to have a very expensive fireworks show. Going to knock out the power in the building. and the hostel manager is going to come knock on my door and say, Christian, one of your travelers did it again. And then we have to go get it fixed. Okay. Um, Ladies, hair dryers and hair straighteners, okay? These are, or guys too, if you use it, these are the ones that cause the biggest problem, okay? Even if you do have a converter, these are the ones that are typically blow out the power, and cause your device to melt, okay? So basically, the hostels figured this out, and what they've done is they actually have hair dryers that you can rent, okay? You can rent hair dryers from them. You put a little deposit down. You can use those. They realized that that was a lot cheaper than having to fix the electricity all the time. So remember that you're going to need an electrical socket adapter and possibly a converter. The adapters only cost about $2. Okay, you can get those at Radio Shack, at Target, at Walmart, at Best Buy. You can get the adapters at all those places. The converter, those cost about $20. But what's cool about that is that's a global converter, and it has all of the different adapters too. So if you're planning on traveling, you've got the travel bug, and you want to keep going around the world, then I highly recommend getting one of these adapter and converters, the global version. It's like $20, and it gives you adapters for South America, it gives you adapters for Africa, Europe, the UK, parts of Asia, etc. So highly recommended. Guys, any questions? Anything that I went over too quickly? Send me an email. Ask me at the end of this. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to answer all your questions. So just let me know, okay? Again, guys, no liquids over 3.4 ounces, okay, in your carry-on. This is a UK travel adapter. You see the three prong right there? So your electrical device is going to go into the back of that white one, and then you'll be able to plug this one into the UK electrical socket. It's impossible for you to plug, well, it's probably not impossible, but it's not a good idea for you to try to plug your US device directly into the wall while we're in the UK, okay?
Hey, Christian, I've got a question real quick.
Yeah, buddy, go ahead.
Uh, is the adapter that or the converter that I had from, or the I guess the adapter that I had from last summer for Europe, does that translate to UK?
No, great question. So in mainland Europe, they use a two-prong one. They're kind of long and circular,
Right.
like a tube. These are different. So that one won't work. There's going to be a difference between the UK ones and the European ones. Okay, guys?
Okay.
Now,
So Radio Shack will just ask him for the UK converter.
yeah. Ask them for the UK adapter. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Radio Shack or Target or Walmart, wherever you go, all of those places will have one. Cool.
Okay. Thanks.
Anytime. Guys, travel checklist, okay? I want you to go through this and make sure that you check off all of these prior to the trip. If you have not yet, I need you to send me a photocopy or scanned copy of your medical form, okay? This is very important. We only use this in the case of emergency. It's 100% confidential. You don't have to worry. But in the case there is a medical emergency, we need to have this so that way we can let the physician know if you have any kind of allergies to medications, if you have any kind of pre-existing conditions that they need to know about, anything like this. I've had to take 2 travelers that were in London to the hospital because of pre-existing conditions within the last 5 years doing spring break trips. We've had to do this twice, okay? The great thing, if you do have a pre-existing condition and something happens while you're in the UK and you do need to go to the hospital, you're in the right place. They have one of the best healthcare systems in the world, and additionally, they have universal healthcare, so they will take care of you the majority of the time free of charge. Okay? One girl had an emergency room visit, CAT scan, surgery, night in the hospital, and post-op, all free of charge. Okay? So hopefully this won't happen to you. We don't have to worry about this, but I do need your medical form before we go. Okay? It's very important. Please send that to me. Next thing, passport. If you don't have a passport yet, you need to take care of this first thing tomorrow. It's going to take 4 weeks to process. Okay?
Hey,
Sometimes.
Christian, one more question.
Yeah.
Can do I have access? I can make copies of this for everybody, or can they access this information and download this a hard copy of this?
Yeah, I emailed everyone the medical form a few weeks back.
Okay.
I'll reattach it today
Okay.
when I send these materials. All you need to do is print it out, fill it out, and take a photo with your phone and send it to me.
Okay.
Yep.
Got one more question.
Go ahead.
For the medical form that we got in the email, I filled it out and I brought it, but I don't know what. So we just send the picture to you.
Yes, exactly. Send it to Christian at OklahomaStudyAbroad.com. Fill it out. There's a couple things on there, guys, that we don't need, like your last record of your tetanus shot and the signature from your physician of when you had your last physical. We don't need that. All we need to know is if you have any allergies to medication, pre-existing conditions that we need to know about. Anything that you think that we need to know about, please share with us, okay?
Because I got all of that done. So.
Okay, cool. Perfect. So that's even better. Good for you. That way we know when you had your tetanus. Good. That's great.
So we just take a photo on our phone or scan it and just send it to you.
Exactly. Whatever's easier for you. Scan it or take a photo. So we try to reduce the use of paper as much as possible.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so passport, guys, take care of that as soon as possible. All right, if you haven't already. Next thing, very important, you need to notify your bank that you're going to be out of the country from March 12th to 20th, okay? The reason you want to notify them is because if you don't, they're going to think that there's fraud on your card and they're going to freeze your card, which means that means your card's not going to work and that we're going to have to call the bank later in the day and have them unfreeze your card. So make sure you take that and make sure that they understand and that they make a note on your account. Okay, this happens all the time. We're never going to leave you stranded. Okay, so if you need money or something like that, your card's not working, I'm going to lend you money and you can pay me back later. I've had to do this many times, but preferably we prefer not to have to do this. Okay, so if you can contact your bank, please, and let them know you're going to be in the UK from March 12th to 20th. Okay.
Another question about the money.
Yeah.
If you just put it on your debit card or whatever card you're using, is that cheaper?
Yes, exactly. Excellent question. This is something I was going to talk about in a second, but I'll go ahead and talk about it now. Guys, please, 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 please do not bring a lot of US cash over to England for your spending money and then because you plan on exchanging it while you're there for pounds, okay? It's not a good idea for two reasons. The first reason, you're going to have really high commission charges. You're wasting a lot of money, okay? They make a lot of money off you doing that. Secondly, it's not safe to travel with a couple $100, $500 or whatever. If you lose your spending money, then you're just out of luck. So what I'd prefer you to do is put your spending money on a debit card, okay? The first thing that we do when you get out of the airplane is we take you to an ATM. We're going to take you to an ATM. You're going to withdraw local currency, local pounds, local sterling, and you're going to be able to use that for the trip, okay? It's going to cost somewhere around typically, not all banks charge an international fee. Some reimburse you for it. For the ones that do charge you, it's somewhere around $4, $5 per transaction. So you say, Christian, how much money do you think that we need the next couple of days? And I say, well, what are you planning on doing? And then I can help give you a budget. And I say, yeah, 60 pounds would probably be sufficient. Why don't you pull out that? And then you pull out 60 pounds and then you're good for a few days. And then you can do it once again. You don't want to pull out 10 pounds, 20 pounds each time, because then if you're getting charged $5 per transaction, your transactions are going to end up catching up with how much money you're actually pulling out. Okay? So you need to bring a debit card or a credit card to use while you're there. Make sure that you check your credit card company and see what kind of international fees they charge you. Some credit card companies don't charge international fees. Some charge 3% or more. So make sure you check all that before you travel. Listen, if you're only planning on bringing a credit card, you need to realize that we're going to be visiting a lot of really cool food markets where they only take cash. Okay. So there's going to be some chances if you're solely relying on a credit card where a credit card's not accepted. Okay. If you have an American Express credit card, you're going to run into a lot of problems. For some reason, outside of the country, they don't like to accept American Express. Okay, so you're better off with a Visa, okay, or something like this. So I recommend bringing a debit card, a backup debit card maybe in case one of them gets damaged. And then if you do want to bring a credit card, bring a credit card. But remember, you're gonna need to find some way to get local currency also. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that? I know it's a lot to take in. Anyone? Are there any hands in the air?
Nope.
I'm trying to think of one that it left me.
Okay, don't worry. It'll pop back in a second for sure. Okay, guys, so you're going to need adequate money for the trip. Whatever, I'll help you set some budgets, but whatever you decide that money, the adequate money is, make sure you put that on the debit card that you're using, okay? I recommend somewhere, you can do it for less than this, but I recommend you bring somewhere for like around maybe 300 and at the most like $500, depending on your personal spending habits, okay? We're going to show you how to be very frugal travelers while you're there. The place that we're staying has an industrial kitchen. So what we like to do a lot is have group dinners in the evening. It's really cool because we live right next to the grocery store. We can go buy groceries and we can have an amazing group dinner, and it only turns out to be like £1 per person. Okay? So it's way cheaper than going and eating every meal out while you're in London. London can be an expensive city. So if you're going to a pub and you're going to have a pub dinner, then you need to budget about $15 per pub dinner. Okay? Now, what I recommend doing is during the day, you can get some nice street food for about £5, or you can make sandwiches and take those with you around. And then in the evening, we get together, we have a nice group dinner. You cook with a couple friends, you spend a couple pounds each. No worries. You save your money for the fun stuff that you want to do. Okay. Now, obviously, if you don't have to worry about your budget and you have some cash to burn, then cool, yeah, go out to the pubs as much as possible, go eat as whatever you like, you know. But if you are on a tight budget, which most students are, we'll show you how to do it on the cheap. Okay, we know a lot of cool techniques. A lot of the grocery stores they sell if you go right before they close. Tons of items are sold for 3 times cheaper than they were during the day, and they're still fresh. They're not spoiled. It's good stuff, and so it's a great way to save money. We're going to teach you how to do all that while you're there. So while you're in London, you can get the most for your money. Okay. You need to bring your trip materials from Professor Knoll. Whatever those materials might be, make sure that you have those so that way you can participate in the class. Okay. You need to make sure that your bags are packed within the airline regulations. Okay. Use our packing list. It will help. All right. So measure your bag. Make sure it's close to those dimensions. It doesn't have to be exact, but make sure that you're close enough. Please pack lightly. Follow our recommendations, guys. I promise you, you will thank us at the end of the trip. It's less stuff for you to carry around, and it's less stuff for you to wash when you get back home that you didn't wear. Okay, so pack light. You can do it. Try to plan what you're gonna wear. Try to plan your wardrobe before you get there. Try to set out your outfits before you go over, so you don't have to bring your whole closet. Okay. You need to provide your loved ones the London contact information. That's right here below us, London contact information. Give them all of this. They also have my number, the 405 number. That number will work. They just leave a message and I get an instant email and we'll call them back, okay? Please only call that number in the case of an emergency, okay? Last but not least, I want you guys to get excited. We're going to have an amazing trip. By the end of this trip, you guys are going to know how to get around London all on your own. You guys are going to be pros. You're going to be in and out. It's going to be an incredible week. You're going to do so much. You will not get bored. I promise you that. I'm going to go down here a little bit, guys, and give you kind of an idea of where we're staying. I know for many of you, this might be your first experience staying in a hostel. That word sometimes scares people. They've seen movies, ridiculous movies. They've heard horror stories. Guys, we are going to stay in only nice places. Astor Hyde Park is located in one of the nicest neighborhoods in London. You'll see Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Maseratis every single day outside of the hostel. And there's a backpacker hostel right there, so it's really cool. This is a former Victorian mansion, okay, that they completely renovated. It's about 6 stories high. On the right-hand side, you'll see the nice big living room. This seats about 50 people. In the evenings, they show movies on the projector up on the wall. They have communal computers. They have board games. They have tons of travel books. There's people from every corner of the world staying here. So you're going to meet lots of young travelers from everywhere. It's really cool because you get to share stories. You get to learn a lot from them. It's a really great experience. This is where young travelers from around the world, these are the places that they stay in. And that's why we stay in these places, because these are the best places for students to stay. The social atmosphere is incredible. And that's what the S stands for in hostel, guys. The only difference between hotel and hostel is the S, and that's the social atmosphere that's provided there. Okay? There's like every evening they organize special events. They have game nights. They have pub crawls. They have on the weekends they take you out to different clubs and stuff. So I mean, it's a really cool place geared for travelers. All right. We come down below. You'll see 2 bunk beds. This is a quad room. Basically, 2 bunk beds, 4 beds in total. You have the lockers on the bottom. Nice metal locker like that with a loop where you put your padlock through. Keep your stuff nice and safe. And you guys are going to have your in-suite bathrooms. So that means you have your private bath. You have your private toilet. So very cool. You don't have to worry about waiting in line for 20 people. We'll scroll down a little bit, guys. This is the itinerary, okay? This is the condensed version of the itinerary. All right? I'm going to go over it with you guys quickly, and then we'll have Q&A and we can answer all your questions. So, it's Friday, March 11th. We're going to depart for London. We're going to make sure that we're at the airport 2 hours prior to departure. That night, Friday night, you're going to be flying over the Atlantic. You're going to land in London at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, March 12th. Myself, John, and Martin will be waiting for you at the airport. We'll have a nice big sign. You can't miss us. We're going to take the tube, the subway, directly from London Heathrow Airport into the city center. Once we arrive into the city center, we have about a 15-minute walk to our hostel. We'll drop our bags in the luggage area. We'll refresh, brush your teeth, put on some deodorant, wash your face, wash your hands, whatever you need to do. And then we're going to have a little on-ground program briefing. This is what we're going to talk about in the case of an emergency. What do you do? How do we get to and from the hostel? Where are the closest tube stops? How do we avoid pickpocketing? What is my local number? What is Martin's local number? What's John's local number? We're going to go over all of these things. We're going to have an on-ground, in-depth briefing, answering all your questions once again in case you've forgotten anything, okay? Then we're going to go for a little orientation walk down on the South Bank. So that's when you're going to be right by Big Ben. That's where you're going to be on the River Thames, the London Eye, all of that. It's a perfect iconic spot to start the trip. We're going to have an early dinner that evening, okay? The reason we have an early dinner is because you guys at this point have been awake for like 30 hours, and some people start to get a little grumpy. Some people don't, and they want to go out and they want to go dancing that Saturday night. You can do that too. That's entirely up to you. But we're going to have an early dinner so that way the majority of the group can get back, have a nice night's sleep, and then the next day we start. The next day, guys, so you'll see that we have 3 schools. Each school has about 10 people. So we're not all going to be together in one big herd. It's not going to be 30 of us together. We split the groups. So we have 2 full-time local guides, John and Martin, and then myself. What we're going to do is we're going to split the groups into small groups. And then that way it's more intimate. We can get into more places. It's more casual. You're not in a big group. It's definitely more enjoyable. So every day there's going to be different activities for the different groups. So on Sunday, OCCC, it's you guys, you're going to have your Westminster walking tour. That's where you're going to see Buckingham Palace, Trafalgar Square, Westminster Abbey, all of the essential sites. We're going to have a historical, cultural walking tour. Both John and Martin are full-time guides, but they're also full-time comedians. They're professional actors and comedians. They're hysterical. So you guys are going to absolutely love them. They have tons of information, but they also make it easy to swallow, very easy to retain. because they have an amazing sense of humor. So you'll really enjoy these guys, I promise you. After the walking tour in the morning, we're going to go to the Brick Lane International Market. It's incredible. There's food from all over the world, every country you can imagine. London is so international, guys. At one time, you might be able to hear 200 different languages on the street. We go to the international market. If you're into vintage clothing or antiques or just incredible food from everywhere, this is the best place to be. We'll have free time there. You can explore. And then that evening, we'll go back and we'll have our first welcome dinner. This will be your first included dinner in the program. We don't do it on the first night because a lot of times people aren't in the best mood on the first night. People are tired. So we like to do it on the second night when everybody's in a great mood. We'll go have a great meal. You guys pick whatever you want off the menu, and we're good to go. The next day, OCCC is going to be going to Stratford-on-Avon, Shakespeare's hometown. We'll do some walking tours there. You guys will have free time to go and explore the town. It's very, very beautiful. You have all the thatched roof houses. It's definitely very historical. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous little town. You guys will spend the whole day there. On Tuesday, we'll come and we'll spend the first half of the day in the British Museum. Guys, the British Museum, you could easily spend a weekend, okay? It is massive. It's one of the world's greatest museums. It has everything from Mesopotamia all the way through modern, contemporary stuff right now. It's very extensive because basically everything that the British Empire stole from over 1,000 years is in there. So it's incredible. You have Egypt, you have Rome, you have Greece, you have India, you have China, you have there's mummies. I mean, it's incredible. You're gonna have free time there. You go explore whatever interests you. We give you maps and you go explore it. That evening, you're gonna go to your first performance. That'll be at the Duke of York Theater. You're gonna see The Father. And then the other groups, they're gonna go see another performance at the National Theater. The next day, you guys will go for a backstage tour on the West End for Les Miserables. And then after the backstage tour, you guys go have lunch, some free time, and then you're going to see the 2:30 matinee performance. This was one of the highlights last year. The group loved it. And actually, the majority of the students that were in OCCC's Intro to Theater trip last year, the majority of them had never seen a professional performance before. They'd seen high school performances, these kind of things, but they'd never seen a big professional performance. So everyone was blown away when they saw what all goes into it and what all it entails. It's pretty incredible. The next day we're gonna go see and the rest of the day you guys have free time. Yeah, to explore Central London. The next day we're gonna go to see the Globe Theatre in the morning. The new Globe Theatre, they remodeled it and made it identical to the previous one. It's right on the River Thames. It's on on Southwark, the south side of the river, and it's really cool. You're going to learn a ton about Shakespeare, the history, the theater, and then we'll take you also to the spot where the original theater was, just a couple blocks behind. Again, you guys will have free time to go visit the Borough Market, one of the best markets in London, one of the only places where you can get a free meal in London. They have samples from great food everywhere. So basically, you just make the rounds, get all the samples, and then boom, there you go, free meal. If you're still hungry, you can buy something. It's super cheap. That evening, you're gonna have another performance, and that's going to be at the Sam Winamaker Playhouse. This is the new Jacobean Theater, so it's candle lit. They opened it 2 years ago. The actual Globe Theater doesn't open its season until April, so we're there too early for that. But the Sam Winamaker Playhouse is right next door to it, and it's really, really cool. You're going to see a Shakespearean performance that evening. Next day, free day. This is your day to do absolutely whatever you want. That might be going and sitting in a cafe and people watching. That might be going to Stonehenge. That might be going to Harry Potter World or all the way to Cardiff, Wales, or whatever. We're there to make sure that whatever you want to do on that day, as long as it's within reason and realistic, that we can help you arrange that. So if you need to get discounts, if you want to go to Stonehenge and you want to get the best price on it, we'll help you do that. If you want to go to Cardiff, Wales, we can help you do that. It's a very long day, but I just say that because some students did that last year. But that's your day to do absolutely whatever you want. Okay. There's over a dozen free world-class museums in London. So if you're like, hey, I'm on a budget, I don't know, I want to do something, but I don't know if I can afford to do something special, then right next door to where we're staying, you have two of the best museums in London. It's the Victoria Albert and you have the Natural History Museum. Those are both within a block of where we're staying, right at Hyde Park. So there's tons of free stuff to do. We'll make sure that you guys are not bored and that you have plenty to do. Okay? The next day, we'll have the Victoria in the morning. You either go to the Victoria Albert Museum or the Natural History Museum, or you sleep in. It's up to you. I recommend sleeping on the airplane and not while you're in London. You guys should get up and do as much as possible every day. That afternoon, we're going to go to Camden Town, Camden Market, one of the coolest parts of London for sure. Tons of great music has come out of there. It's got a sweet alternative scene, incredible food market. We're going to spend the whole day down there, down on the canals and just hanging out. And then that evening, we're going to go for our farewell dinner there in Camden Town, and we'll have our program closing. The next morning, we'll take you to the airport, same way that we came in, on the tube, on the subway. We'll drop you off, and then we'll say goodbye, and you guys will be headed back to Oklahoma City. Guys, that is the trip itinerary, the condensed version. So now we can do Q&A. All the questions that have been brewing, let's get them going.
Anyone?
Well, I'm going to start with them late.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay.
So
Good.
I think I'm arriving really early that day.
Really, you're going to get there earlier?
Yeah.
Mario? Yeah. Mario, right? Mario's wondering about what's going to happen because he's going to be getting there a little bit early.
Mario.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Mario, send me your flight time, and we'll swoop you up at the airport.
There you go. Yeah.
Actually, I did have
No,
a
go
question.
ahead.
On whenever you're looking at your times on the tickets and everything, and where it has everybody's name, mine said go to check-in on the very first page.
Right. Yeah. So let me scroll up here. A lot of times that you don't have to worry about that. A lot of times they haven't specified a seat for you. So what you need to do is when you get to the airport, just go to the American Airlines counter and say, "Hey, this is what it said on my my flight plan," and then they'll issue you your boarding pass right there. Don't worry, you have a ticket 100%. Just sometimes the airlines are not sure which seat you're going to be in.
Okay, because I wasn't sure, could I go early and get it done? Or
Yeah,
do I need
that's what that 2 hour cushion is. So you don't need to get there any earlier than 2 hours prior to the flight. As long as you arrive 2 hours before, you're good to go.
Awesome. Okay.
Good. Good.
The free day, I'm meeting up with some friends, and we were trying to maybe think about doing the Tower of London tour,
Okay.
but we don't know. I don't have any idea how much it is. I looked up online, and it was like 24 or something.
Yeah. Do you have a student ID?
I do.
Okay. Cool. You can get that for about 18 pounds.
Awesome.
Yeah, we can help you arrange that. Not a problem.
Speaking of prices of things, what's a pint cost?
Great idea. Yeah, exactly. So what is a pint? So
I
what is
need to figure out how much to budget.
Yeah. What does a beer cost? So, a beer it depends, but typically around 3 pounds. Three
Okay,
pounds.
and what's that in real money?
Yeah, 3 pounds, 4 pounds.
$5.
So you're looking at about like $7 for a pint.
What?
Now,
Ah,
there are a lot of places that have specials, Professor Nolan. We'll make sure to show you where those are.
I'm sure you will find where those are. I'll follow you on that.
Excellent.
What kind of fast food is it? I know they have McDonald's and Pizza Hut.
What kind of fast food do they have? Well, you have your standard, like kind of fish and chips. Would be like the British version of fast food. But yeah, they have everything that you've ever seen before. They have it. So you're going to see every fast food place you've seen. They're going to have it over there. Okay, they're not going to have like Carl's Jr. or Hardee's or anything like that. But everything else, so they have it. And if they don't have that one, then they have something that's identical to it but with a different name. But I'm going to encourage you not to eat the fast food. Instead, like take advantage of the awesome, affordable street food. But
How
if
much
you,
does
yeah,
street food normally cost around?
yeah, about 5 pounds. About 5 pounds, you can get like a nice, like a big thing of like Asian noodles, for example, or like fish and chips to go, or like a kebab or a gyro or something like that. It's about 5 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, very comparable, like very comparable to a lot of food cities in the states, like food prices as well. If you're going to a fancy restaurant, then it's going to be a lot more expensive. But if you're looking for like quality, like typical British food, that's the pub food. That's what it is. It's You're going to get the bangers and mash. You're going to get the shepherd's pie, which is like a what do we call those? The stuffed pie. What do we call those, Brent?
Pot pie?
Yeah, exactly. So these kind of things, guys. The pub food is the most like traditional British food that you can get. So definitely, you want to take advantage of that. We'll make sure you do. And you're going to have an amazing English breakfast. We don't include an English breakfast every day because that could probably cause heart failure at the end of the trip. So, but we do include one traditional English breakfast. The other breakfasts are great. You have eggs, you have granola, you have fruit, you have cereal, yogurt, these kind of things. Lighter breakfast. There's jam, there's stuff like that. But the English breakfast is typically is sausage, bacon, black pudding, which is a blood sausage pudding, white pudding, which I have no idea what it is, baked beans, and hash browns, and that's the typical English breakfast. So that's not what you eat. That's not what you want to eat every day, but one day for sure you guys are going to have it. We typically do that on Saturday morning. That way, because if we go dancing on Friday night or you guys go on the pub crawl, then Saturday morning that's a good meal. Questions? I know there's more questions out there.
They're like a certain place to be back there.
Back where?
Sorry, buddy, you got to use your theater voice. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah. Question is there a curfew?
No, there's not a curfew. Reception's open 24 hours. The only thing that we request, and we'll go over this again when you get there, is the buddy system. Okay, buddy system, and that you let us know your plans. Okay, you guys are adults. We expect you to behave like adults while you're there. We hope that you won't be that silly tourist that gets too intoxicated and makes a fool out of themselves and puts themselves at risk. We don't want you to do that. Don't be that person. So no, there's not a curfew, but we do want you to be functional the next day. Guys, this is your trip, okay? So you're free to do if we're catching a bus or something and you're not there on time, we will leave you, okay? We are very, very punctual and we're very strict about being on time for things. But at night, if you want to go out and hang out, that's entirely up to you. You're fine to do that. But we do ask that you let us know your plans, where you are going. So that way, if you don't turn up the next day, we at least know where to start looking. Okay? And we're going to go over that a lot more in detail when you're in London, when we're on ground. We've never lost anyone. We do our best to make sure that everyone is 100% safe, and but we need your help to do that as well. Okay.
With the, I think I emailed you about the transportation card, the little Oyster card.
Yep. You guys will have an Oyster card throughout the week.
Okay, so like you can use what transportations is not included.
You can use the double decker bus. You can use some of the trains, and then you can use all of the subways between Zone 1 and 2. There's no there really other than coming in from the airport. There's no reason to go outside of Zone 1 and 2. Everything's within Zone 1 and 2. But on your free day, if you want to go, like for example, to Chelsea Stadium or Arsenal Stadium or something like that, you're going to have to go outside Zona 1 or 2, and you just pay like $5. But other than that, you have unlimited access with your Oyster card.
So every day you go like 2 hours away or anything?
Yeah, of course. On your free day, I mean, last time I had people that went to Wales, they went to Cardiff on their free day. So yeah, I mean, your free day is long. If you tell me, if you say, hey, I want to go to Edinburgh on my free day, I can say, okay, you can do it, but that's a 4 hour train ride there, and that's a 4 hour train ride back. So you're gonna have 4 hours to spend there. So we'll if you have a crazy idea, we're gonna let you know that it's not very realistic. Okay, but obviously you can do it if you want to. Some people, they pop up to Liverpool and they do the whole Beatles thing. you know. So we're gonna give you so many options that you won't have. It will be difficult for you to make a decision because there's going to be so much to do. Questions, guys? No stupid questions. Keep them coming.
Where's Stonehenge located? Like, what's the town it's located in?
Oh, that's a good one. The town that it's located, I cannot remember off the top of my head. I can look for you though, real quick, since we've got it on here. But it's only a 2 hour bus ride.
Okay, so it's not like super.
No. We can easily do a Wiltshire. That makes any sense to you. We can easily organize. They do day trips all the time for that. Yeah, so that won't be an issue. Guys, I'm gonna throw a question. I'm gonna throw a topic your way since nobody's asked yet. Phone data. Should I get an international calling plan? My answer is no, absolutely not. They're outrageously expensive. Everywhere we're staying has Wi-Fi. Okay. Additionally, in London, you're you can have access to so many different Wi-Fi networks everywhere you turn. There's at least like 3 Starbucks on every block, and if it's not a Starbucks, there's a Costa on that block. There's a McDonald's. All these places have Wi-Fi. The underground, the subway, the tube has Wi-Fi. So, guys, I'm going to encourage you to take advantage of all the different free applications that you can use. That's Viber, WhatsApp, FaceTime, Facebook calls, Skype, etc. There's at least 15 nowadays. You can use all of those instead of getting an expensive calling plan. Do it for free, save your money. Now, if you do want to get like a texting plan or something like that, those are more affordable. But one of those international calling plans, extremely expensive, not recommended. I would definitely take advantage of the Wi-Fi as much as possible. Okay.
So, like, if you didn't get the international plan or whatever, if you wanted to make a call to your family and there's always like a free Wi-Fi spot, is that what?
No, I'm saying don't get an international plan. Don't get an international plan on your phone because it's overpriced and it's expensive. So there's going to be Wi-Fi everywhere we're staying. So all you have to do is connect to the internet and then use one of the free applications that I just mentioned, Skype, Viber, FaceTime, Facebook call, whatever, and call your people that way.
Okay, what if your family doesn't have any of those at home and they just use? Because I basically live with my grandparents, and so they don't know how to do any of that.
Yeah, so they just have a landline.
Yeah.
Okay, so the cheapest way for you to do that, when we get to London, I'll take you and we'll buy an international calling card for like £5, and then you can just use the payphone in front of the hostel to call them.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
that'll
gonna
be
try to learn how to use Skype.
yeah. I completely understand. That will be the cheapest way for sure. Is we'll just get a little calling card.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Any other questions, guys, about anything? Does everyone feel confident in there about carrying their luggage on the plane with them? Is there anybody that's a little bit nervous about that? They don't think they can do it? Are there some? What are the faces like in there, Professor Knoll?
They are kind of glazed over, and everybody's fired up from what I can see. Yeah, I've got another one there.
So, for example, like on a day that we want to, for example, we want to do two big things, and we only have one full free day. I mean, what if are we allowed to miss some event?
Oh, good question. Are they allowed to skip an event to do something they would rather do?
Yeah, and that's an excellent question. As long if you're taking the class, then
Mm-hmm.
you need to double check with Professor Knoll that whatever you're skipping is not part of the class. Okay.
Right.
Now, if you're not taking the class and you're going, then yes, you
The,
can.
part of the deal is that they have to take the class in order to get backing from the college. But
Got you.
yes,
So basically, yes, check with him, see if that activity that you're missing is part of the curriculum. If it's not, then we don't have a problem at all with that. This is your trip, okay?
yeah,
But we need to make sure. Now, something that when I went over the itinerary, something that you might not have seen is almost every single day there's more than half of the day that is for your free time. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Let's go down here. On Sunday, Sunday, second half of the day is free time at Brickland. We're going to Brickland International Market, but that's optional. If you don't want to do that, you can go somewhere else, and then we're going to tell you where to meet us for the welcome dinner. Okay. The next day, this day is difficult because that's a whole day trip, so I wouldn't recommend doing anything on Monday.
yeah,
The
that's required.
Right. The next day at the British Museum, it's optional. But after that, you have a good 5 hours, 6 hours until the theater performance. So the theater performance is until 7 p.m. So you have from noon till 7 to do whatever you want. The next day, after the matinee performance, from around 6 p.m., free time. The next day, the same thing. After the Globe Theater tour in the morning, which is only an hour and a half, you have from 10 a.m., 10:30 all the way till 7 p.m. again, and then you have the whole free day. And then on Saturday you have the whole day. So I mean, there's that's for us. That's one of the most important things about these trips is that you have adequate time to explore. Otherwise, it doesn't if we take you over there and you're herded from morning till night seeing everything, you run ragged and you're seeing everything from a tour bus window, that's not traveling. All right, so we don't want that experience for you. We want you to be able to do what interests you, but at the same time we want to show you a lot of really cool stuff along the way and a lot of very important cultural things along the way. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
All right, awesome. And if you let me know kind of what you're planning or what you're kind of thinking, I can help you and be like, hey, this might be the best day to do that, or this might be the best day to do that. Always ask questions, ask us. That's what we're here for, okay?
And
Yeah, Christian, we will be socializing a little bit with the other groups, though, right?
Oh, for
I mean,
sure. Yeah, 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 definitely. Like when we basically every evening, when we have our welcome dinner, when we're at the Brick Lane Market, when we're going to the British Museum, when we go to Camden Town. These are all group activities, yeah. But like maybe John might go with one group like 10 minutes before the other group, so that way there's like a little bit of separation. And it's not just one big group. We like to do that, kind of separate them. But yeah, I mean, you guys are going to be hanging out with. You're going to make so many new friends. That's what's cool about this. From Oklahoma, but also people from around the world. So I mean, it's yeah, you're definitely going to be socializing as much as you like.
and what happens in London stays in London, right?
yeah,
you bet- Just
yeah,
answer my question.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. What happens there stays there,
Okay.
to a point.
Time zones, different rules. Yeah. So, okay. Just checking.
He's a character, guys. If you haven't had him in a class, you're gonna love him. Awesome. Okay, cool. So, are we good? Are there any other questions, guys? Are we good?
Um, yeah. Do we need to get one of those books that translates American into English?
No, I don't think it'll be necessary, but yeah, that'd be pretty funny. Guys, and we'll go over all that once we get there. Obviously they drive on the opposite side of the road. They're going to tell you that they drive on the right side of the road and we drive on the wrong side of the road. But that takes a little bit getting used to. But we'll go over that because we don't want you to get smashed by a double-decker bus. Okay?
But free medical care if you do.
They will have to do understand.
Yeah, there you
Wouldn't
go.
that be a story to tell?
Yeah.
Governed over 11.
Oh, I should have done
Well, Christian, it sounds like I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how everybody else feels, but gosh,
I don't want to do
I might have to go home tonight and drink a Guinness just in preparation.
I've been wanting to go to London since 8th grade. This is just like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be a kid in a candy store.
See, yeah, that's it. Yeah, they've got all kinds of historical stuff. What's that?
Since I'm like 20, I'm not legally able
Oh
to
no, Christian, what is the drinking age in
You guys
England?
are over there then, right?
Sorry,
What's the drinking?
sorry, there was an error in the connection. What'd you say?
What's the drinking age in London?
Oh, 15.
50.
Yeah,
One,
right.
15.
Man, they are so much more civilized than we are.
Very different.
No, yeah,
Right.
guys, you are adults there, so as long as you're 18 and older, you can drink legally. Please keep it within reason.
Yeah, don't feel you gotta stock up for the next 5 years.
It's not
Religious
fun.
name. I have to religious name.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's see. A couple of youngsters that were with us in Central Europe last year that developed taste for the fine beer that they had in Europe.
It's true.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
I have
Okay.
no idea about any other alcohols. I've had my fair share.
Okay, well, there you go.
So I think I'm good on that one.
All right, well, never hurts to sample the local beverage.
Never
All
heard.
right. Well, guys, listen. I want you to go over these materials that I'm going to send you. If you have any questions in the meantime, email me, and I'll answer them for you. And just go over all the materials I send you. Follow our advice, and you'll be fine. Okay. And we're going to have an awesome time. I'll be sending you additional reminders over the next couple weeks. Okay, so just keep an eye out for that, and get ready to have an awesome time. And I will see you guys in London Saturday morning, bright and early.
Sounds great.
All right, awesome.
Okay, thanks, Christian.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, are we done? Ready to break the connection here?
We're done. Let's break it.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, have a great time. Bye. Okay, just a couple of things from our end. I will, if you do not, you should all be signed up for the class. Is that correct?
I'm not.
You're not signed up for the class?